This dude is back to his usual ways. Jerry Jeudy back to his usual ways, dropping passes left and right. You had the nerve to be on TikTok talking about which quarterback you rather play. Neither one of them would probably rather have you out there. It looked like you going to be fourth string behind Denzel Boston, KC Concepcion, and Isaiah Bond. You out here dropping passes, sabotaging Shedeur Sanders at practice. I've seen enough. Don't let us tune into these preseason games and your ass is still dropping passes, bro. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit the bell notification, hype the video. That'd be greatly appreciated. Let's get right into it, man. Shedeur Sanders threw an absolute dot to Jerry Jeudy. And what did this dude do? Take a guess. Oh, you guessed it. Vomit all over himself, dropping the ball. I don't know if you're doing this stuff on purpose. I don't know what's going on. But you're a professional, bro. It's time you start acting like it. Take a look at this here, man. This dude is insane. Take a look at this here. Shedeur Sanders going to drop back and deliver an absolute dime to Jerry Jeudy. Deep ball, spiral on it. Right there in the breadbasket, and this dude drops it. Right there in the breadbasket, and this dude drops it, man. Like, come on, bro. This dude can't be serious. Come on, man. It's in your hands. You're supposed to be a number one wide receiver. You can't catch a cold, bro. You got hands like a snake. It's ridiculous watching Jerry Jeudy go out here and drop all these passes over and over and over. It looked like the same thing from last season. This dude just don't get it. He just don't get it. He may never get it. He might not figure it out until it's too damn late. But all I know is when Shedeur Sanders get in the game, I don't want Jerry Jeudy in. Let him run with Deshaun Watson. Let him run with Deshaun Watson. And let Jerry Jeudy, let Shedeur Sanders have KC Concepcion and Denzel Boston and Isaiah Bond. I don't want nothing to do with no damn Jerry Jeudy out there dropping the ball left and right. Let's get in the afternoon drive on the fan as they spoke about the QB competition and where we at.
Present the simplest possible explanation for this.
Sure, I'd like to hear it.
It's just that. It is they don't want to start Deshaun at home a week from now, and that starting him on the road is going to be less of a distraction for him because there will be a mixed reaction if Deshaun were to start his first game in 2 years almost at home.
It might be that. It might also just be the idea that they started Deshaun with the ones to begin with because of the veteran part of this equation, and they're just staying true to that. Neither one has separated themselves in any sort of way, and so this is the easy way to decide it. Deshaun started the practices off as the one out of the gate, and he'll just continue with the preseason games, and then we go from there.
If I'm a Shedeur fan, I like this because Shedeur not only gets the start against the Bills, he also gets the joint practice against the Bills as well.
That could be huge. Yeah, if that's how that goes. I will be interested to see. I know you say that now as if that's he hasn't said that. Yeah, I know. I'd be interested to see what happens if they end up making Deshaun the starter in the joint practices and then Shedeur's the starter for the actual preseason game.
Just be very weak.
Well, there's some people that would argue then that Shedeur would get way less of a chance if that's the outcome because the joint practices and the only joint practice they have is that Thursday against the Bills. If that's all Shedeur gets, or that's all that we're talking about, and Deshaun gets that instead of Shedeur, that's a real advantage to Deshaun. People really weigh these joint practices in a significant way.
All right, so if you're just joining us, Deshaun Watson will start the preseason opener against the Bears this weekend. That means Shedeur will start against the Bills 1 week later. To talk about all of this, we welcome on 92.3 The Fan's very own Daryl Ryder, brought to you by Scheiben Jewelers, Cleveland's premier jewelry store. Daryl, welcome to the show.
Hello, boys.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Nice, nifty little timing here. What is your takeaway on Deshaun Watson starting this weekend and Shedeur getting the start a week later?
Yeah, I don't think that this is surprising in the least. This is exactly how I felt it was going to go, that they would start Deshaun on the road in Chicago, give him the first look. Monken has said in the last couple of days he's hoping to give each of these guys a start. And, we'll see Shedeur against the Bills. And in that start, he wants them to play a half of football. And his hope is that as part of that half of football, there will be a 2-minute situation involved there at the end of the half for both players, because obviously that's going to be a part of this evaluation process. But I'm not surprised it's Deshaun here. I kind of felt that it was going to be Deshaun, especially, I mean, today was a Shedeur day, a Shedeur heavy day in practice, and it really made sense. Hey, Shedeur's getting his work in today. On Saturday, Deshaun will get his work in, and then we get to set things up next week for Shedeur against the Buffalo Bills. But I am with you guys. I'm interested to see how the joint practice gets handled and how those reps get divided, and also too then, what does that Buffalo preseason game also look like? Even though, like I said, we do know that Shedeur is going to start it, but just ultimately, what does it look like?
Do you feel like there's an advantage one way or another in any way that you could set this out if you were the Browns trying to give one an advantage?
No, I mean, I think you can talk your way into saying that there's an advantage, Jonathan, but no, I don't know that there's an advantage here. I don't believe that this means that Deshaun Watson has the leg up in the quarterback competition. I don't think it means that Shedeur Sanders has catching up to do in the quarterback competition. I feel like this thing's kind of been a dead heat all the way through, going all the way back to the spring, right? Because remember, in the spring, Todd Monken told us he wanted to have this thing decided before they went on summer vacation and have the starting quarterback in place, and neither one distinguished themselves or separated themselves from each other. And so you go into training camp knowing you have a competition between these two guys, and it stood the reason that the competition was not going to be decided until after the joint practice with the Bills and the second preseason game against Buffalo as well. So from my standpoint, I think that the Browns are on schedule with this whole competition thing, but I don't think that there's an advantage either way.
All right, Daryl. So let's get back to that idea that you said that they're kind of in a dead heat here. If that were to continue through, I think it's August 23rd. That's kind of been a spot people have earmarked that makes sense to kind of name a starter. Who do you think the tie goes to?
I would probably say the tie goes to the veteran Deshaun Watson. I've said this, and I know that people have come after me for saying it, but organizationally, if you start with Deshaun, and I'm not trying to go negative here, but let's just say this plays out where it doesn't go well, then you can turn it over to Shedeur and just say, hey, the rest of the season is yours. Take us home. And then he plays as long as he stays healthy, and you really get a larger evaluation of him than just the 7 games that you had last year where he wasn't exactly set up for success. He was thrown into the fire and did the best he could. Now, the good thing for him, he has had an entire